Hi, this is 365801 and this is a 2025 Buzzword Reading Challenge TBR and recommendations video. So welcome to another video, and this is for month number 5, May, and this is of course for Kayla's Buzzword Reading Challenge. Books and Lala has been hosting this challenge for a few years now. This year there is something a little bit different, and there is a secondary challenge to do with covers, which I am not going through in any of these videos in particular, just because I think that might be a little bit too much. Go check out the description where I've got a link to the announcement video where you'll get all that information, as well as a link to all of the visuals that you might want if you're going to be taking part and wanting to post anything on social media. I am hoping to read many of the books that I'm giving recommendations for in all of these videos, as usual. If you have any recommendations as well, please let me know in the comments down below. We're going to go into May, and May's word is 2 or 2, but not the number 2. So Kayla does go through lots of different examples. Like I said, 2 and 2, but not the number 2. She doesn't have any examples that have in 2, which is one that I came across when I was going through my spreadsheet. I don't think I really want to include it either, if I'm honest. There is, of course, the number 2, but that is not allowed. So I'm just looking for 2 and 2, which you would think would be quite easy because this is a specific word month rather than a thematic word month. But yeah, it was a little bit tricky going through my spreadsheet, and in the end I felt like it was just as easy to go through my drawers and find things. So that's what we're going to do. So back up here in the extras space, and we have 2 here that I'm just going to take out and talk about. First of all, we have your 2 OP. I'm not sure who this is. Ye Zhu Liu. I have no idea what this is about, but it is a Rose May one. So when they first started publishing, I did go out my way to get them straight away, because I was afraid that they would be very limited supplies, and there might be limited supplies. But Traveling Man is pretty good about getting them. They are super expensive though. This is like £25-26 for a volume, but I haven't read it. Why am I buying them at that price and adding them to my collection if I'm not actually going to read them? So this is definitely one that I'm going to put on my TBR. It's got some extras. I haven't taken the plastic off, so I haven't unboxed them. But yeah, this is something I have no idea what it's about. Absolutely no idea. But yeah, this is the first one going on my TBR. The other one, which also has and came with extras, is How to Survive as a Villain by Yi. I think I missed a Yi out there. This also has the extras I've not unboxed, as another Rose May, and it has 2 in the title, especially the how to, which is what Kayla had obviously already said that that was the original purpose of it. And I have actually, I think, read a little bit of, or I've seen anyway, the Chinese manhwa version, webcomic version. So I kind of know a bit about this story. Something to do with someone getting transmigrated. It's a transmigration one. I don't know other than that, except that they are gorgeous. They're beautiful. They're £25-26. It's a lot of money for these, but I do want to read them. Now over we go into one I completely forgot about. Wasn't on my list. This is a new one, that's maybe why. It is a one-shot, and it is a Scarlet Vertical 7 Seas title, as you can see. And this is Nagahama, To Be or Not To Be. I have not read this yet, so I really want to. At time of filming, I'm hoping to have read it soon. So I have seen lots of artwork. I've seen all the little extras that she posts on social media. I've seen lots of people say that this was really nice and a really sweet, cute one, which I'm hoping is more like Jackass and less like Fourth Generation Head. I'm always erring on the more Jackass than Fourth Generation Head when it comes to Scarlett Berkelow's work. Beautiful, stunning artwork. So yeah, I'm hoping this one will be a good one and is definitely getting added to my TBR. I head on over to the things that I brought specifically. This is How to Seduce a Vampire by Nemosaku Shimada, and a June manga title. I know that I have read this because it has vampire in it. 2010, from January 2010. So I'm pretty sure I have read it. Do I know anything about it? Do I remember? No. But I'm just because it's got vampire in the title, I'm sure I've already read it. But it is one of those one-shots from June manga that put out, a bit like the Tokyopop are doing just now, that sometimes are slightly forgettable. I think that's definitely failing on June's more so than Tokyopop's at the moment, because I have no idea what this was about. But it does have 2 in the title, so it's going on my TBR. In here in this drawer, we have quite a few actually. I Want to Bite is actually a yaoi novel by Doki Doki, which is kind of the rarity ones, because usually the yaoi novels are with the Juni sign, but this one is a Doki Doki one. And once again, it's kind of like a vampire one. This is written by Isaya Takamori and the illustration is by Chigusa Kawaii. And I do remember reading most of this, but I don't know if I ever actually finished it. I feel like I should have, but I don't remember. So yeah, it's like an action-packed one. I just recall a lot of things like yeah, that they were college and that there was like groups of people and we were kind of trying to hunt each other down and that kind of thing, but they were just too sexy. They were just too sexy. So yeah, this is one that I was really happy to get a copy of, because it is a little bit trickier to get hold of. But yeah, this is one I think I could read, although I am going to be reading a lot of prose in May now. To some more 2 ones, and here I have this one and this one. Let's just get them both out because they both have 2, and they're both by Makoto Tatano, and they are kind of like companion ones. One is How to Control a Sidecar, and the other is How to Capture a Martini, and they do kind of go hand in hand with each other, and they are like romantic relationships based at a bar where they make cocktails. So yeah, it is as you can imagine, a cocktail based one. I don't know which one I have to read first, but I feel like I've read at least one of them. I don't know if I've read them both though, so I don't know which one it was that I read. I just remember reading a lot of Makoto Tatano in scans a long time ago, so I probably have read them, but I cannot remember at all. So these are definitely going on the TBR as well. While we're in here, we may as well pull out the other Makoto Tatano. This one is by Dieu, and this is Hate to Love You. I feel like I've read this too, but I don't remember anything about it. Another one. So yeah, this, I don't know if I have read this copy though, because this feels really tight. There's a slight yellowing to it. Even my other copy, because I do have another copy, which is probably the one I read, has a slight yellowing to it. I don't know why. The other ones, some of them are very white, but this one didn't. I don't know why. But yeah, this one I have no memory of. I remember at least trying to start it, but maybe I never finished it. So once again, putting another Makoto. This is going to be the month of Makoto Tatano, unfortunately. I have a really love-hate relationship with her. I hate to love her, and I love to hate her. This is how we are. This is the feeling. So yeah, I'm going to put this one on my TBR as well. I don't necessarily need to put on my TBR, but actually, you know what? Once you've read something and you enjoy it, you're like okay with rereading. Take Me to Heaven, also a G title, and this is because it's by Yamato Naze. Yamato Naze. This, she's all about the love or sex comedies, and this one is kind of like Holic before Holic. And I know I've like recommended this to other people and they've been like, yeah, okay. And they've read it and been like, no, this was terrible. This was trash. Like, I'm not saying this is great, but I am saying that a lot of the plot points in Holic kind of follow this. And this was published first. So if you enjoy Holic, you really should be grateful to Yamato Nade. I'm saying this because literally, it's like the same, it's very similar, except there is more explicit sex scenes in this, which there isn't in Holic, obviously. Although we all imagine Domeki and Watanuki exactly as we want them to be. So yeah, this is one that I have no problems with rereading. It's a sexy ghosty one, so if you wanted to wait until October, even though it says Take Me to Heaven, it's got the 2 in it, obviously, it's actually all about ghosts and stuff, so that might be quite a handy one if you're going to be doing the manga freakathon. We are now in the netcomics drawer, and I'm fast becoming aware that this TBR is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, especially when I add in this one, which is To Take an Enemy's Heart by Yusa. This is one that I have not read, and it is a 9-volume series. Yes, am I guilty of collecting every volume of a series and never reading it? Why, yes, I am. I really want to read this one though. I feel like I always feel like I really want to read it and then I never actually dedicate the time and space. So yeah, May is going to be it. This, I have no idea what it's about, but it's got enemy in it, which makes me feel like it's going to be an enemies to lovers. So obviously this is going to be great, right? If you have read this, please let me know. Is it any good? It looks stunning. I love the artwork. And I was so happy to get a volume 1 and 2 because they were out of print for a while. And to have all the rest but not have them was devastating because I wouldn't have been able to read it. But I have them now. And I think you can get them for a little bit cheaper than normal at the moment. But yeah, be careful about netcomics. They are no longer printing. So pick up the volumes as and when you can. Especially if you are like me, you had most of the series but you didn't have the first ones. So yeah, go out and get this. Although I can't tell you anything about it because I haven't read it yet. In this bottom drawer here, mainly because I wanted to show a particular title that is not a BL, but one that I would quite happily do a reread of. I really want volume 2 now. I want to be a wall, and of course it has 2 in the title. Honami, is it Shirono? This is an absolutely beautiful story about a Fujoshi who's asexual and her lavender marriage to a gay man who is in love with his best friend. And it is just wonderful. I so want volume 2. I'm desperate for it. I want to be able to read the continuation of this story. This made me cry, made me sob, made me laugh. I loved it so much. I really want to see where these 2 characters go. Obviously, I don't wish for a romance, and that's not the point of this. But to have an asexual Fujoshi character in a manga is just so nice. If you are a Fujoshi, you're asexual, like me, then that is a really nice representation. So yeah, I want to include this in this video as well. We are in one of my older complete collection ones, and this is right here. It took me ages to actually find it. Where is this? This is a Mei Sakuraga. Mei is like quite a prolific mangaka. I Want to Be Naughty. This is the first in a very long running series, and we did not get any of the other volumes. This is probably like one of the worst volumes of all of the series. Unfortunately, we just didn't get the rest of it. It was a really great high school full of shenanigans. Very a little bit like Love Is Like a Hurricane in that respect. But this was so popular back in the day when it was getting published. And I don't think I've ever actually read this physical copy. I don't remember doing it anyway. I remember having it, and I know that I've read the story, but I don't think I've actually read this. So yeah, I Want to Be Naughty is going to get added to the TBR. I've got one back here. I need to see if I can get this out so I can show you. This is I've Moved Next Door to You by Furi Misasagi. This is a mangaka I definitely read from before, but I don't actually remember anything. And I know for 100% fact that I have not read this volume. It's been in my collection for a long time. I'd have to go back and check to see like what volumes I have that have been in my collection the longest. But this feels like it's one of them. Yeah, this is maybe like a 2018 purchase, you know, that kind of thing. That's not been read, which is fine in my head, but when I think about it, that's 7 years ago, so not so fine. So yeah, I've Moved Next Door to You. I have no idea what this is about because I've never read it, so this is definitely going to have to go on my TBR. The one I'm not going to put on my TBR just because it is getting super long, and also because it's not quite of the prompt, and that is Falling Into Love. Now, I'm pretty sure Kayla said that she wasn't really happy, like, it just has to be 2 or 2 and not the number 2, but I don't know about this into. I feel like that's not quite in the spirit of things, although if this was 2 separate words, falling in to love, then it would be fine. But this is a Takashi Kanzaki, and I'm not such a huge fan. And also this is like connected to another one, Love Plus Alpha and His Arrogance. So I'd have to end up reading a lot more. So I'm fine with saying into is not allowed. We're just having the 2s. So I think that's everything in this drawer. I might end up coming back, but I think I've got everything. So yeah, I think we've got one more to check. Now I opened this drawer, looked through everything and went, oh, there's nothing in here. And then realised, hold on, yes, there is. I totally missed it. I Didn't Mean to Fall in Love too. Is in this title by Minta Suzumaru, and this is one I have read. I absolutely love it, so I am totally fine with a reread if need be. This could definitely be like start off the month with a good strong one. This is the story of a salaryman who is a virgin, and he would very much like to experience sexual pleasures with another man, if at all possible. So he, you know, like gets his courage up and goes to a gay bar and is very quickly snapped up by a young man in college who sees him and just is instantly like, oh, he's for me. And he shows him a good time. And they just end up getting along quite well. And I just love it. Suzumaru Minta just does this so well. This is just a one-shot, but I think she has continued their story in another volume, some other, I don't know when, if we're going to get it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because this is just so wonderful. I do enjoy age gaps more when the seme is the younger and the uke is a salaryman. I love a salaryman uke. Just can't help myself. And he's just gorgeous and I love him so much. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to add this to the TBR, even if I've already read it. Now, I just spotted one that was not on my original list at all. I keep coming across them. This is Stay Close to Me by Yaya Sakuragi. This was a real find when I got it. This is a junior manga title. And some of these older ones that are short, small trim size are a little bit trickier to get hold of. And this was one that I was desperate to get. It is a sweets one. Yeah, I could definitely do a reread of this. It's been a while because I read it when I got it, but it's been a while since I've added it to my collection, so I could definitely do a reread. It's a cute little high school one with the sweets, but I think there is 2 stories in here. Yes, Play to Win and Stay Close to Me. So yeah, this is one that I totally forgot had a 2 in it. This is why, even though having the spreadsheet is a really good idea, when it's something so ubiquitous as a T and an O next to each other, it's really difficult to get. So yeah, this is going to get added to the TBR as well. The one I was actually coming into this drawer for is I Give to You Ebishi Maki. Now, I know that I've read this one. I've read it a few years ago. I can't remember exactly when, but I don't have much of a memory of it. And this is just another one of those. I remember the art style and being like, well, that was okay, but slightly being disappointed in it, and I don't know why. Like, it made me uncomfortable. So I don't remember anything about it. If you want to screenshot, you can see. But yeah, this is one that I should probably put on my TBR just because I have no memory of this. Is it something to do with a tea shop? Well, obviously, because there's tea stuff. Is it something to do with Yakuza? I can't remember. So yeah, that's why it should go on my TBR. So another one I've just noticed. Why am I noticing more with the twos? I did a search as well. Open the door to your heart. This is actually one of my favorites. So as you can see here, it's right next to Close the Last Door, Volume 2, which has got the Honda brother. This was a fun volume. So a spin-off is involving the other Honda brothers. Yeah, brothers. Don't worry. Or no, still worry. Still worry. Yeah, there's definitely some relations between these relations. And yeah, so these are the older Honda brothers. And yeah, I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite Yamada Yugi mangas. One is straight-laced glasses Megane-kun, and one is a kind of a wild spirit, free spirit type person, and the two of them should not really be together, but they want to be together, and they don't want to be together at the same time. Okay, so I think we're in the last drawer, the home stretch for this one, and that is because, well, if I can get some of these, we have this one here, which is The Way to Heaven. I think this is the only two in this drawer. So yeah, this is one by Yamimaru Engine. So this is quite an old one as well. The art style, as you can see, and a little bit yellowed, my particular one. So this is 2009 February, and I have not read this. So this is going to have to go on my TBR as well. Now, before I go on to summing up, I do want to just point out one of the titles I brought with me. This is by Koshino. I absolutely love Koshino. And I don't think we've had anything other than this one title brought over into English as a physical. Now, the reason I'm doing this is just because two is the romanization of to, which is and in Japanese. So if you just see under this and, there's a little to sign for Samejima-kun and Sasahara-kun. So the to is romanized into to, as in two. So if you were really struggling, you could go for a whole range of BL that has and in the title, especially if it's still on the cover. I have another one here that you could see. So Mr. Tiger and Mr. Wolf is got and in the title. Tora san to Okami-san to is there, and that is two. It doesn't have the same meaning, except you could say it means as in the as well. But yeah, anything with like Sasaki Tomiyano, that's a good one because it's got the to in it. So anything that has and but as a to, this one even, dog and cat, wanko to nyanko is just it's a cutesy way of saying dog and cat. So this really should be an and because it's got the to. But if it's got to on the title, I guess you should be able to use it. So I might end up reading this one just because I really, really want to. It's been such a long time since I read this physically. I think I've got 2 copies. But I brought one of them up with me because I didn't have one in this collection. Why have 2 in a separate collection when you don't have, and you haven't read it in ages? And I absolutely loved this. I remember someone, this is a total tangent, but I remember someone making like animated videos of the manga along with the audio, the BL CD, and it was just, such a great time. I loved it. So yeah, this is one of my absolute faves. Hopefully you can see this. It's very bright and sunny today, which is really good, but then there's been lots of people doing things outside, so if you hear any noises, sorry about that. So I've kind of divided them up into two sections. Ones that I've read, and ones that I kind of read, or I may have read, but I don't know which ones I read. So there's the definite you need to go in this TBR pile, and the other ones, which are the ones I'm actually leaning towards because I've read them already and I want to read them again. Stay Close to Me, I would definitely give a reread to. Open the Door to Your Heart, always up for a reread. I Want to Be a Wall, of course, and I Didn't Mean to Fall in Love, 100% would give that a reread. And How to Seduce a Vampire, I know I've read, but I have no memory of, so I should probably give that a read as well. Now, on the other stack, I Want to Bite, I know I've read most of, but I don't actually think I've finished it. I Want to Be Naughty, I don't think I've read. I know I've read one of the how-tos, but I don't know if it was Martini or Sidecar, so they both have to go down. I've Moved Next Door to You, I've not read. To Take an Enemy's Heart, I've not read. I think I've read, I should have put Take Me to Heaven in the other, because I definitely have read that one. I shouldn't have been in that pile. I would definitely do a reread of it though. Hate to Love You, I don't think I've actually finished. And of course, the rest of them down there with the Danme as well. I know I've not read. They're still in their plastic. So this is a good little selection. It's not as big as last month, thank goodness, but it's still pretty sizable, especially when you add in all of the 9 volumes from To Take an Enemy's Heart. It is quite a lot. And of course, there's quite a bit of prose in How to Survive as a Villain, You're Too OP, and I Want to Bite. So some prose, which would be good to read in May. Hopefully the weather will be like this, and I will get all of this read out my garden. I'm going to start doing some work on there because I can see it from here. And I do enjoy having some flowers, so maybe get some flowers planted. So yeah, this is everything that I have that has either 2 or 2 in. And like I said before, if you do have anything in your collection that has an and, technically that's a to, and therefore you could technically use that. Maybe if you wanted to. Hopefully you found this interesting. I'd love to know your thoughts on some of these older titles, but also some of the new ones. Have you read The Rosemary? I'd love to know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.